Part 3 of Mashiach and the teachings of Torah. The second division of the Tuat. The boat of Ra has passed the antechamber of the Tuat and entered into the second division of the Tuat, as we see. The beetle has been replaced by a man with a ram's head and a disc surmounting his head, and surrounding him is the serpent Mehen, and before him is a standing serpent, and above him a small disc. Ra is drawn in his boat by 4 gods called TUAIU, another name for the 4 sons that was responsible for carrying the Ark of the Covenant. According to the Theban recession in the second region of the Tuat called Sekhet dwelt the souls of giants over 9 cubits high, the place of Osiris. And the Israelites discover that the land of Canaan is inhabited by men of great stature. Numbers chapter 13 verse 32. In the 4th region of TUAIU dwelt the snake SAA-SET. And Moses sets up the serpent on a pole, which we read in Numbers chapter 21 verse 4, protecting the Israelite from the bite of snakes. So here we have the standing serpent acting as a pole before the serpent. The text referring to the sun god in the second division reads, "This great god journeyeth along the roads of the Tuat. This god is drawn by the gods of the Tuat, in order to make divisions in the earth, and to work out designs therein, to weigh words and deeds in Amentet, to magnify the great God above the little gods among the gods who are in the Tuat, to place the HEKAU upon their thrones, and the damned in the place to which they have been condemned in the judgment, and destroy their bodies by an evil death." So here we have in the Egyptian text, plagiarized in the Holy Scriptures, the HEKAU, and the HEKAU is spelled KHU. It probably is the first derivative of what is known as Jew, and the fact that they are placed upon their thrones, while the damned, which can be equated in the Holy Scriptures as the Gentile nations, to which they have been condemned in judgment, and to destroy their bodies by an evil death. So in the Scriptures, which have plagiarized the Egyptian text, we have a separation of Jew from Gentile nations, while in the Egyptian text we have a separation from HEKAU, KHU, and the damned. A description of the second pictogram of the Tuat is given to us in the Tanakh. And Ra in his boat holds a pole, and before it is a standing serpent with a circle above his head, meaning the solar disk. And we read in Numbers chapter 21 verse 8, "And the Lord said unto Moses, Make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole. And it shall come to pass that every one that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live." So here in the Scriptures we have a reference to the boat of Ra, within his boat, holding a pole, and above it a circle, and around it a serpent. As Ra enters the second division of the Tuat, those who dwell in their set cry out. Now we can establish the biblical reference to this part of the underworld, and we find this alluded to in Numbers chapter 21 verse 17. Then Israel sang this song, Spring up, O well, sing ye unto it. The princes digged the well, the nobles of the people digged it, by the direction of the lawgiver with their staves. In the upper register of the Tuat, we see there are 24 men. These are they that praised Ra while on earth. In the scriptures, a plague hits the people, and the number of them that died is told us. Numbers chapter 25 verse 9. And those that died in the plague were 24,000. In the lower register, we see the god Tem, an old man leaning on a staff before 4 dead human beings. We are given a description of this as follows in the form of 4 inheritances passing to the living in the scriptures. Numbers chapter 27 verses 8 to 11. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a man die and have no son, then ye shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter. And if he have no daughter, then he shall give his inheritance unto his brethren. And if he have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance to his father's brethren. And if his father have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance unto his kinsman that is next to him of his family. And he shall possess it. The interesting part of this division of the Tuat is that it reveals the god Tem, who leans on a staff. And there is another unnamed god that also has a staff. Here. Though he stands straight in the middle register, meaning leadership. The Bible alludes to this change in leadership from an old man to a young man by stating that Moses passes on his leadership to Joshua, the son of Nun. This occurs prior to the festivals given in the scriptures. So we read in Numbers chapter 27 verses 22 to 23, And Moses did as the Lord commanded him, and he took Joshua and set him before Eleazar the priest and before all the congregation, and he laid his hands upon him and gave him a charge, as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses. Before the boat of the sun god Ra stand a company of 13 gods. The names of these are given in the text. The third god has the head of a ram, the head of a hawk, the fourth. The last 6 gods are described as the gods who are in their entrances. After these gods is an unnamed god with a staff. The Bible alludes to this company by giving a description of 14 festivals found in Numbers chapter 28.